guests are backstage. Jason, you wanna poke your head back there and be sure we have guests back there?
It's funny.
Oh, I hear the dulcet screams, the lilting hollers of our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, they need no introduction because they are their own very forces of nature. Please, big Rosemont welcome to Brianna Buckmaster and Kim Rose. Saturday Special, that's just a sample of what you'll be doing.
I think you should explain that's a bit that
is a bit.
you do.
That is a bit. Every once in a while, I get irritated with Jason's skill level, and I like to come on stage and show him what's up. To just come and really fuck with him a little bit. Now it's just, now it's a duet. Now it's become a duet.
My favorite.
Great, mine too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brianna and Kim.
Okay, bye. Glad to have you back, Richard.
Good to be back.
I miss you, Richard. Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
Have you ever been to Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Because that's where Jody was the sheriff.
I have not. I haven't, but my brother, who's from fucking Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, went there. Hey, Alberta! Went there for some work thing, and he went to the police department and got pictures taken. And sent them to me. I'll show them to you later. He was so. My brother's just so like.
Which brother?
The guy, Jared.
He was just like.
Like in front of it. I don't ever think he's seen an episode of Supernatural that I wasn't in, but he still was like, I'm gonna get a photo. It's very cute. That's about it. That's all I got. Thank you.
My question is, if your characters had interacted with Charlie on the show, how do you think that relationship would go?
Oh my God, gangbusters. Yeah. Yeah, I think like Charlie is incredibly smart, and I think Donna loves smart women, which is why she was so immediately attracted to being friends with Jody. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Charlie as a character, so I don't know.
I think it would be really cool because Jody is like kind of uber mom, and Charlie is one of those characters that seems like she would need momming for about 5 minutes, and I think Jody would be like, oh, here's another child I've got to go, oh, you are a badass.
Right.
Let's go, and that would be it. I think Jody is, one of the things I really like about Jody is that she is not attached to her first impressions of people. She is very like, oh, well, I was wrong, great. And then moves forward with who she is. And I think I do think that would happen with Charlie. I think Jody would have the wrong first impression, but be very quick to follow it up with, hell yeah, we're gonna go kill some shit, yes, teach me your ways. I love the hypothetical. What do you think if, I'm watching the series, I'm binging it, I'm on to season 4, and it's so funny where I'm like, oh yeah, because I quit watching it once I was on it. And I wasn't religious about it the first time through, and now I fangirled over Richard Speight this morning.
Oh, I'm sure he hated that.
It took him a couple, he was like he did that thing that he does where his head, where it's like a Cocker Spaniel hearing a very strange noise, where he just goes.
What did you say? What did you say?
Oh, I just was telling him how fucking good he was. And he was like, well, thank you. I mean, he was gracious about it, but it was just a strange thing to have somebody that you've known for 10 years all of a sudden be like, you're so fucking brilliant. And I mean, I'm a lot.
He'd be like, what do you want?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we was. He shifted the conversation very quickly. But I was like, I have to tell you how good you are. Yeah. It's like, I know, like it was news.
Yes. I was gonna say, like, I suspect Rich is like so unattached to his skills as an actor.
Well, and also like
from
10 years ago, Yeah.
Schmelke photography Q&A will also be pushed back 30 minutes.
Great, so everybody can think about which actor he should make playlists for. You can ask him about his playlist. Just be like,
Very good.
what's somebody that you would put on? Or who's somebody that you think Kim should listen to that she doesn't listen to?
Can we just take a moment of appreciation for
Let's have
fucking
some
Chris
Schmelke.
We were talking about him in the, so we will get to, I promise, in the PJ party last night, because we have been to some conventions recently that are non-Schmelke conventions, and we look like different people in the photos, and not in a good way. I will speak for myself. I'm always like, do I actually look like that? And they're like, no, you look like how Schmelke sees you. But he's so talented, and he is so, his disposition at these conventions, when he works harder than anybody, all day long. And he's in there, he's like, he knows some of you so well. He creates fucking playlists for us. And he's always just the most pleasant person at the party. Anyway, God loves Schmelke.
We love Chris Schmelke.
Okay, so since you guys have done work and shows and movies and stuff with brothers, would you guys do more movies and shows with brothers?
No. Never again.
I'm going to tell you a secret about being an actor who's not particularly famous. I go wherever they fucking hire me. I always love it when people are like, you should get on Walking Dead. And I'm like,
So great. That's a great idea.
oh my God, yes! Tell them.
I remember, what episode was I was shooting the episode with Bunny Plush, I think it was called. And we're in the scene, it was me, Jared and Jensen, we were interviewing a woman at a house or something. And I remember we were in the doorway, and I was like looking at my sides, and we're blocking. So we're just in rehearsal looking at our sides. I had my sides in my hand, and Jensen just went, wham! And just like my sides went everywhere, and I just like pushed him, and they like laughed and they high-fived each other. And I was like, because I have twin brothers, and I was like, this is some fucking bullshit! The karma that I have, that I have to deal with you two fuckers. But yeah, Kim's right. It's like if somebody was like, I have a great job for you, but there's brothers involved. I'm not gonna put it in my contract. But it does seem that way for you, I recognize.
I know. It's worked out for me so far. But I'll go anywhere they want me.
Yeah. Give me the money.
Yes, give me the money. Give me the job.
Hi, I was wondering if you could choose any character from the show to meet Jody or Donna who didn't get to meet Jody or Donna, who would you choose?
I thought you said to
Oh, to meet? Oh, it's funny because this just came up on TikTok the other day for me. I'm rewatching, again, as I mentioned. I would love to see what the fuck would go down if Jody and Bella Talbot were in a room together. Right? Oh!
I don't know enough about that character to know what's happening.
She was the, oh my God, and yet, yes. So yeah, they would hate each other. It would be so good. Yeah, but I think Bella would also, Bella could fuck up Jody pretty well too. Like, she would get in Jody's head and just be like, whoa, yeah.
I remember Jensen telling me this early on when we were shooting. All I want to do is be funny. That's all I want to do. I like doing serious scenes. I love doing that. It's a beautiful challenge for me as an actor. I can't, if it's not a serious scene, I will do everything in my power to make it funny. And I remember when we were shooting Hippie 911, there's a part where we get, I mean, this is the whole thing, but we won't get into that. It's a part where I get out, and Jensen and I we're all joking around so much that night. So we get out, and then we have this little thing, and then we go to the barn. And it's like we get out, he hands me a machete, and then he goes, something, it comes,
Aim for the, if you're gonna
aim for the
swing
head,
hard. Yeah,
swing
yeah.
hard, aim for the head and swing hard, and I go, got it. And then we both go to the barn, and I was like, what if I went, and I said this to him, and he laughed so hard, and he went, it's not that kind of show. As I was like, what if he went, aim for the head, swing hard, and I went, got it. I'm just like, Mark's the wrong way. Anyway, point being is like, I always try to make it funny, and it's not a funny show. But that's what my character was for, so, you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is if you could gender bend any of the supernatural characters that are male to female, which one would you do and why?
Lucifer.
Trickster. Those are great answers. Yay, us.
I would like to see Lucifer. Sorry, hold on. No, I'm going through all the things that I can't say. Like, there's a big Rolodex, apparently. I was like, no, it's okay, it's good, because this isn't, like, sometimes it's not the place for political and grand oration soapboxes, and this is one of them. But I do think that the bodies we live in inform our perspectives. And I think it would be interesting to see what a female body, how that would inform the essence of evil.
And how she would be taken. Would she, if Lucifer was a woman, would she could be considered powerful?
Yeah. If it wasn't the king of hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you weren't the fault, like.
Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Great question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sit down.
You guys are probably my two favorite characters on the show, for one. And two, what was your guys' either favorite line or favorite scene from the show?
From the entire show?
Yeah.
Well, it'd have to be one of mine. So, I don't know.
I'm taking notes as I'm watching it
Oh.
this time because I'm prepared for this.
Kim has all the good answers.
I have so far my favorite lines on there is, you know, when this is over, we should really have angry sex. I enjoy that. Poor tiny man, poor giant tiny. It's not food anymore, Dean, it's Darwinism. Listen here, chisel chest, we were here first. I was sleeping with my peepers open. And my new favorite line from Supernatural is, I have an evil twin. That was Andy. Fucking killed me. I texted him too. I was like, you got to say the line, I have an evil twin? He was like, yeah, it was a high point in my life. Yeah. Hi.
Thank
we do one more
you
question?
very much.
Do we have time for more? Thank you. Do we have time for this? Lightning round.
round.
Way to go.
Hello.
You guys both played two very strong characters when you perform on TV. Are your characters so strong because that's who you are? Or do you gain strength from having to play strong characters?
Oh,
Yes.
Good question. I think, yeah. I think both. I mean, I would say that those characters were written, and so the first episode I was in, I kind of worked myself into.
They just send you out here as a sacrificial lamb. They just sent Norton out here and they're like, let's see if they make fun of him. No, it's okay. Steven, here, hold on. Let's make sure we can see.
Open up the circle.
Would you say you play a strong drummer? Because drumming is innately a strong thing, or because your inherent strength? No, Steven's part of the trio now.
We're not. Listen, it's his dream.
Say
It's his
yes.
dream.
I'm just gonna say yes to all those.
Yeah. I think they feed on each other. I think that there are inherent qualities that we bring to the character, but it's also, I know for me, Jody asked me to rise to a level of confidence and strength that helped me discover that in myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brianna Buckmaster and Kim Rose. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. singing, looking around and singing.
I saw a video of that recently because I was in a very emotional answer, and so they lit the candles backstage, and by the time they came out, they were all just puddles of wax, and you were like, and I'm like, the fuck is going on?
Oh my God, I remember that.
What jerk had a birthday today? Oh, it's me.
It's me. Listen, bad timing. We're having
They were
feel.
getting there.
It's Kim Rhodes' birthday, everybody, in a couple of days. This is our opportunity to celebrate Kim Rhodes. Birthday girl!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? She's gonna eat a lot of cake that she made for you. Birthday girl, birthday girl. That's not really, that's fun. Bad girl, not a good girl. Not a good girl. Not the girl. Bad girl. That's
Hello. Hi. I'm Maddie. My question is, if Crowley had tried to kill Jody, would she have gone on a second date with him?
She'd have fucked him on the first date.
Hey man, she's a busy lady. She doesn't have time for second dates. I remember, so when I found out that I was gonna be in my second episode of Supernatural, I knew that Kim was gonna be in it. And so I looked up, I guess was your last episode at the time, which was this episode. And I remember you were wearing a green dress, I think, and you're on a date. I don't remember the date, but I remember you going into the bathroom, which is where you, spoiler, died. And you were looking in the mirror, and I think you were like, come on, pull it together. Pull it together, he's so hot. And I remember thinking, is he? Or are you just desperate for attention? This is something we should all ask ourselves, ladies. Do I like them, or are they just in front of me?
I mean, no judgment on either answer. That's the thing.
And not to say that I think Mark Shepard isn't attractive. I think that Crowley is a bit of a dud.
Yeah, and also, the answer to your question, would she have gone on a second date with him, is no. But she'd have fucked him on the first date.
There you go. That's the answer. Which is really what I think you were getting at, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you were a type or shape of pasta, what would you be and why?
I'd be rotini because I'm completely screwy. I love how fast I came up with an answer for
I know.
that. You're like, I've got that in my back pocket, as a matter of fact. Hold on.
I feel like I've answered this before, and yet I don't really have an answer. My immediate response is spaghetti, because it's my favorite food in the entire world, other than muffins. Insert joke here. I guess it would be spaghetti.
Jokes still there?
I don't know. Depends where your head's at this morning, like mine. Spaghetti because it's like a race to see how much of me you can fit in your mouth. Why did they give me a microphone?
Weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
There's a lonely muffin.
There's a
There's a lonely
muffin.
muffin. There's a lonely muffin that has started to reappear in the green room. I may have to start chronicling its existence. Once again, the
Thank
lonely
you,
muffin.
and I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Everest, and I was wondering, have your kids ever said or done anything where you're like, oh crap, they are just like me, I'm in trouble?
All the time. And I love it, and then there's times where I just go, I resist, and this is also like a female thing, raising a girl in the world. I resist the urge to correct her and make her act in a way that I see as morally fit for our world. And that means smiling when people say that she looks nice, or you know, being gracious and friendly to strangers. This is so fucked up that's my instinct, because I want strangers to think that she's a nice girl, when who fucking cares what strangers think? So, yes, I fight that urge all the time, but my favorite thing ever was I had a parent-teacher interview with her teacher a few months ago, And, they just kind of talk about because we don't get to visit their classrooms because of, protocols and stuff right now. So we just talk about what it's been like, what her work's been like, what she's excelling in, what she's not excelling in. Now, she's 8, so mostly I'm just like, is she enjoying herself at school? Is she happy at school? That's my priority. But she did bring up, she's like, she has resistance, she digs her heels in for some things. She's a little sassy. And I go, I know. And again, I did that thing where I'm like, I'm sorry. And I said, I work really hard to not kind of usher the sassiness out in her, because I think as a young girl, it will serve her moving forward. Do you know what I mean? And I explained, I said, I was bullied heavily in elementary school and high school, and I worry about that for Valentina. I'm definitely projecting those fears onto Valentina. And her teacher went, oh, you don't have to worry about that. She was like, that little girl is very strong, and she stands up for all of her friends, and you do not have to worry about her one bit. So I was a proud mom of mine.
I'm a little bit, I come at this question opposite. My daughter is actually, it's turning out that I'm like my daughter, and I never knew it. My daughter shows up on this planet, and she is a dragon. She is a magical being, and she is so aware of who she is. And many of you know, and she is comfortable with me sharing that she is autistic. And as I have been learning from actually autistic people about autism and about how her brain works, I have, instead of going, oh my God, she's like me, I've been going, I'm like that. Only I've spent 52 years trying to not be. And last month I got my autism and ADHD diagnosis. Yes, you are allowed to applaud that. So I have the incredible honor of having a child who showed me my authentic self, instead of having a child that I'm turning into me. I get to turn into her, and it's a wonderful fucking thing.
Thank you.
But my question's for Brianna, and I'm from Minnesota. And so seeing Donna from Minnesota just embracing all of her Minnesotanness was just amazing. And I was just wondering where you got the inspiration for Donna from.
She was really written well, I will say that first, but most of the things a lot of the things I picked up were written into the breakdown. And I always joke that in the breakdown, they specifically wanted like a Margie from Fargo. It said, Margie from Fargo, but not pregnant. And as we all know, I was quite pregnant when I filmed that episode. But I didn't tell anybody. But so I knew based on that they wanted an accent. And then I did the audition. This is how it works. You do an audition for casting first. And then if casting thinks you're good, they bring in a certain amount of people for directors and producers. So then after that, I got to audition for Phil Segretia and Jim Michaels. So he really believed in me, believed in you, believed in us, and I love him for that. But in the audition, he was like, now I want a real thick accent. And I literally was, oh yeah, you betcha. And he thought that was, I think he was not quite prepared for me to just throw myself in. But I don't know if this is a difference between theater actors and film actors, or it's just a difference between Brianna and non-Brianna people. But I was just like, what have I got to lose? Maybe it's because I was pregnant and I was just like, I'm gonna go big with it. Because not very often in TV auditions do they want you to be big if you're a secondary character. My character at that time was not even a guest star. She was just there to move the plot along. But this is something I've experienced in my entire career, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. I do not belong in the back row. You cannot put me do not put baby in the corner. And it's not because I'm so great and talented. It's because I stick out like a sore thumb. Physically, energetically, vocally, I'm not a chorus girl. And that sucks. That sucks in a lot of ways because I don't work as much as a lot of people could who are very good at blending in, hitting their mark, saying their words, and getting the fuck out of Dodge. I'm less good at that. I like to make a mountain out of it first. But I think that I had a very clear idea of who she was. She was part of me, and she was part of somebody else. And through the writers and directors and other cast members on the show, I was able to find her place within Supernatural so that she didn't stick out she stuck out just enough, I'll say. So thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Amy. I was actually a deputy just north of Sioux Falls.
Hey!
I'm in the healthcare industry now, but my question is, I just found out that you already answered this no yesterday, but have you ever thought about visiting Sioux Falls?
No. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
I love the connection. I think it's important to know. Like, but at the same time, I'm broke.
Stop everything.
Are my eyelashes?
Oh, it just flew off.
I felt it going. That's all right.
I got it.
Let it die. Let it die. It's been a pain in my ass.
Last thing you
all
want is
morning.
just like one eyelash here all over Twitter.
I was going to ask you to keep an eye on that today.
Okay.
All right. I don't need them anymore. All right.
So get rid of them. Do you have a pocket? I
Yeah,
have a pocket.
it's okay. I've got it.
I got pockets. I got lots of pockets.
I got a mint.
Look at this little pocket.
I got a mint.
I got mints too.
I'm gonna lose them.
Oh, look at.
So location-wise, it is important for an actor to know what the fuck they're talking about when they talk about a location. However, the actual reality of traveling in this life, for someone who is on a tight budget, who has a family that needs her, and quite frankly is tired and lazy a lot of the time, turns into, I Googled a lot about Sioux Falls, but if I have the time and money to travel, I'm probably gonna go to Oregon and pick blueberries. So I'm sorry, Sioux Falls, that does not mean I do not love you in my heart as Jody, but Kim tends to go home when Kim can travel. Thank you.
But we love Sioux Falls.
Kim Rose and Brianna Buckmaster. Bad girl, bad girl, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you come home? Howdy, y'all.
Chi-town. Chai, is it chai or shy? Does anybody know? It's chai? It's
Shy, like, I'm embarrassed. Chi-town?
yeah, but the way you explain it, you say Chi-town and then you say Chicago. So shouldn't it be shit-town? I love Chicago. But I realized as I was saying what I was saying, I mean, like, it's not Chicago, or Chicago, or Chicago. I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry, head trauma. So, too soon? Wait, I'm talking about myself. Come on now. Never too soon. Yeah, that's tattooed on my, I can't tell you.
I was all ready to wheel him up here this morning, so it's...
He carried me up the stairs.
How was the concert last night? Why did I was
He
in my
was.
hotel room, sleeping myself to sleep.
I wish it was just yourself. We all asked you to stop.
That's true. This is true. Yeah, the whole hotel lobby. It's like, can you shut the guy up over there?
Yeah. Well, like, he's bigger than we are, but can somebody shut him up? Anyways, happy to be here. Sorry I missed you guys in Jersey. You know, stuff.
Yeah, left me hanging, dude.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I want to stay home. I have an idea.
Next time, just stay home, you know?
It might have been might have turned out better. Certainly would have turned out better. But happy to be here now. Happy to see you guys. It's been a year. It's been a couple of years. for all of us.
Has it been 3 years?
It's been 3 long. It's been 3.
It's
Too soon. Just kidding. Well, before...
Let's do some questions, man.
Yeah, let's do some questions.
All right, so you guys are both playing lawmen, right? And so I want to know in what world you imagine that Walker meets Bo Arlen.
I think in all the worlds I imagine.
I know it's.
Well,
if there was ever like, if there was ever a crossover that made the most sense, it would probably be this one because, yeah, Bo is actually from Houston and has a law past, law enforcement past there. So, yeah, that would. I mean, I don't know that that networks and differing studios do that kind of thing, but
we'll call them, like, set up a Zoom. We have this great idea. We're gonna get together. Be like, hell no.
No. We own that property. They don't. Take a hike.
Yeah, that would be fun. I have wanted. I feel like I've wanted since like season 4 or 5 of Supernatural to do a separate project together where we just kind of have that moment from Maverick where it's like. Carry on. That's the only thing I want to do in my career still. If I officially retire and never get that moment with this dude.
There was in the episode of Walker that I directed. At the Kansas concert that I also got to like pinch myself the entire time. He and I both were like, "What's happening?" There was we were rolling a take, and it was on Walker and Jerry, and they were doing their close up on them, and like I was maybe about 20-30 feet away at the monitors watching, and then it was like the scene was over, and I just quickly like threw my headphones off, and then ran out on the set, and then just walked right in front of the camera, and then he and I looked at each other, and it would have worked, but perfect. But Odette was like, you don't know us. End the game, Odie. End the game. So I don't know. Maybe that'll make the blooper reel, but yeah.
Well, hopefully, soon enough, somehow.
Okay, so we know you both got a baby when the show was over, and I was wondering for each...
A baby?
A baby, the car, baby.
Oh, yes. Oh, shit.
Yes, not that kind of baby. The
surprise.
Yeah.
Is that why Jen keeps calling me?
So I was just wondering for each of your respective cars, like, do you have any short-term or long-term plans of what you want to do with your baby?
Yeah, I was gonna like do rainbow paint and chop the top, and hydraulics. I'll get back to the real question because that's a good question. But do you remember the like pimp mobile that Tess had? Did you all hear the story?
Yeah.
They had me driving it, and I was like, this is so like fun. I wasn't trying to mess it up, but I kept on going, and I could see the like transpo guys running like, somebody tell him to stop. Yeah, I think
what's this button do?
For me, I want to keep it aesthetically the same. Like I don't want to change. I don't want to put in like a DVD player or something. Just get it working. There are a few, I think Ackles has touched on this. They kept them workable for film's sake, but you wouldn't want to drive them across town necessarily yet. Some of the caskets are old.
Yeah.
I mean, you would want to drive them across town. They got delivered to Family Business, and when I went and picked up number 2 and drove it home, oh God, this is all.
Realized that the car's literally been held together by duct tape and spit for like 15 years.
Every time you turn, it's like, oh gosh, we're gonna.
Oh yeah.
And then Cliffy, he was over and he's like, hey, so I don't think we should start it anytime soon. One of the gaskets leaking and it's where it can start a fire. So we're like, okay, yeah, let's not start it soon. So we have getting worked on right now.
Meanwhile, I'm like, hey kids, hop in, let's go for a drive.
We can't hear you, Dad. We can't hear you.
Basically same. Just get it back to. I've had a little work done on it so far, just to kind of keep it running and keep the lines clean and stuff. But I'd like to. I wanted to take the engine out that I've got in it right now, because they dropped a 502 Marine engine in it, which is like obnoxiously loud. And it was all because I was like...
You're just now realizing this?
Oh no, I knew it, but there was a lot of complaining from us to the studio and to production of going like, you know, we need a bigger engine, this car doesn't sound like it should, and it's embarrassing when fans show up on set, and it's like... So they're like, oh, you want a bigger engine? Okay, here's a 502 big block. And it's like, I'll shut up. And so I thought, okay, that's like obnoxiously large. Maybe I'll should get like what I think arguably is the best engine for that car that at that time was a 327, and it also happens to be the amount of episodes that we shot. So I was like, well, that's a no-brainer. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I think I need to keep the 502 in there. It's just for nostalgia.
You've been all over the place in like 60 seconds.
I know. I think I'm gonna keep it in there and just get it tuned up.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna change the look of it. It's staying like all the dings and all the dents and all the scratches and scrapes. That's all staying.
At the end of the show, when we got back after we finished the finale, and our props department, Prop and Robin, sent like little care packages, like sent Ziploc bags of some of the hotel key cards, motel key cards.
Basically stuff that the studio didn't want. Like, just put that out there. This wasn't like, get everything we can. No, it was like, they put a list.
But also got some cool stuff, like this. We were like, we love this, we love that. They couldn't do a lot of it, but like I have Samulet, I have some motel key cards, and I have some Legos and a G.I. Joe man or an Army man from the Swan Song. And so I will admit, when it came in, I went to the garage and like put some Legos around and just we'll keep the look, and I'll put the Legos back in. Right here in the aisle.
So Radio Company has a song called City Grown Willow. And it's great. What was the inspiration behind the music video?
It was COVID and we were stuck in the mountains doing nothing, and we thought, hey, it's snowing, let's go do something fun. Honestly, like Steve was there and we were writing, and this was like, you know, prime COVID lockdown pandemic thing. And so we just literally went out into the backyard and shot all that and on an iPhone. And then Steve was like, we're gonna make a video. We're like, all right. And so then I think we spent maybe 3 or 4 hours out in the snow doing that. We didn't, and I don't know, for me I was like, yeah, this should just be for us. But then he like really did a good job, and it was like, we should put that out there. So we did. And that song is actually about, he and I wrote it together, but he kind of brought it, he brought the idea and like already kind of the chord progression and stuff, but it was about a friend of his, about their relationship. So she was a city girl and he was kind of a country guy, and it was inspired by their relationship.
Drifter. Sorry. All right, good sir.
You guys ever seen that skit? It's Will Ferrell playing
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond, and it's like an SNL thing where
it's like a VH1 behind the music.
What inspired the song?
Sweet Caroline.
It's like, I wrote this song after I killed a drifter.
In every song, he's like, yep, all right, we were driving down the road, we were really drunk, hit a guy, checked on him, sure enough, he was dead. I wrote this. Sweet Caroline. We watched that on set.
Anyway, you haven't seen that, it's worth the watch.
It's worth
okay, let's go far back. Is that like a brown leather jacket there? Yeah, there you go.
Jensen, what inspired you to start writing music and producing music?
I've always had friends that were very talented musicians, and I've always been inspired and admired that talent. And so whenever Jason and I would take trips together or hang out, there was always a guitar involved, and the same with Steve. Whenever Steve would come and visit me in Vancouver, just because he wanted to come up and hang out with his buddy, there would usually be songs involved and writing involved, and it's just it's a hobby. It's something that's an artistic outlet. Something I've always enjoyed and I've always admired about people that are able to do that. And so the fact that I've got friends that kind of push me to do that and encourage me to do that along with them has been something that's been a great value to me. So that's really it. It's just surrounding myself with people that encourage me to do something like that. Look, I mean, honestly, it all goes back to just, getting the girl. That's really, if we want to boil it down, yeah, I saw Steve, he had a guitar, and I'd see the way girls would look at him and be like, well, shit. Now I gotta learn how to do that. And that's what it all boils down to.
First of all, I'm really excited to go home and watch The Boys. So my question
Has anybody seen the first episode? Can we talk about the first 10 minutes, please? No, I'm kidding, we won't. I saw that in a movie theater in Paris for the first, a week and a half ago, on a giant screen, and I forgot.
How do you forget that?
Because I wasn't there, I wasn't filming. I read it in a script, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's gonna look like, and then this was over a year ago. So I'd completely forgotten about that whole sequence of them, capturing or getting the termite. Oh my God. So, Kripke was sitting behind me in this massive movie theater. There's a huge audience down below. We're sitting up in the mezzanine, the cast, and Kripke's behind me. And when you know what happens, I just hear him go, like this maniacal cackle, and I'm just turning around like, you're disgusting, bro.
What's wrong with maniacal cackle?
Anyway, I'm sorry.
By the way, on that note, I caught up and I'm ready for it, but I didn't know when we flew out yesterday that it had come out the day before. And so we're on the plane and he's like, hey, watch this. And I have some friends with dark senses of humor. And so when you come back into service and you start checking text messages, you have to kind of shield it from the people around you because it might be a giant. So meanwhile,
it could be offensive to some people.
It could be offensive to some people. So he shows to me. I'm like, people might see this, But anyways, sorry.
My question was, how was it filming that role of Soldier Boy as opposed to Dean Winchester?
I mean, quite different all around. And I will say that there was just the experience of being on a different set, surrounded by different actors and a different crew and in a different city. The whole thing was quite a different experience. And also coming on to an established set where I'm the guest at the table. It's not my house. And so being respectful of that and trying to figure out the dynamics of the different players and how, because what you see on screen, you're getting performances, you're getting really good actors crafting a character. But I didn't know any of these people in real life. I didn't know what their real personalities were like. So sitting back and just kind of observing and making sure that I'm not, that I'm staying in my lane and not making enemies before I even have a chance to make friends. So that was, but I say that, and it was all very easy. And Kripke really kind of laid the groundwork for me, and he vouched for me, and everybody was like, well, if the boss is saying that he's cool, then he's cool with us. Even though Anthony, who plays Homelander, he was like, I didn't want to like you. It was like this, this new alpha male coming in, an already full deck of alpha males. He's like, I didn't want to like you. And then I liked you. And then I was like, well, maybe he can't act. And then I worked with you, and I was like, well, crap. Now I like him. So that was, but I was prepared for that. I was prepared for some resistance there. Where, as opposed to Supernatural, where it was something that he and I, it was our house, it was our home. That's what we built. And we loved inviting people in and making them feel as comfortable as possible. Or not. Or not, depending on who they were. Depending on who it was. But as far as the character goes, I do remember having some talks with Kripke and some talks with Phil Segricha, just about making sure that I didn't fall into the very comfortable groove that I'd been in for the past 15 years. Not falling back on Dean Winchester as a crutch. And so I had to work hard for it. Like it was like in my head, and Kripke was like, you know, watch you don't slide into the Dean voice, or watch you don't slide into the, you know, into doing those kinds of things. I'm like, yeah, but that's just me, man. So it was fun, kind of crafting that guy and bringing him to life. And yeah, I hope you like it. He'll be Soldier Boy kind of like arrives on the scene in episode 4.
I have like an ADHD Rolodex of things going through my head to ask you guys right now.
Great. Nice old reference to a Rolodex. There's people here who probably don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's stuff. Is it next to your abacus?
In your 8-track? Still got it.
Okay. If you could do a cameo in any show not related to Supernatural or the ones you're in now, what would you do? Like any show, not even if it's not even on anymore.
Not if it's on anymore? I got you. I'm listening. I feel you. Saved by the Bell. And my cameo literally would just be, I'm in the hallways when Zach Morris timeouts. And then he times back in, and I continue walking. I took your answer, didn't I?
Yeah, but mine was Zach Morris times out as I'm making out with Kelly Kapowski. So
maybe I'm right behind y'all.
Just locked in the lip lock.
Yeah.
Or Saved by the...
I grew up on that. That or Home Improvement. I always wanted to be.
There's people here who also don't know those shows. Like they don't know what a Rolodex is. I'll go current, and just because I just...
Taming of the Shrew, the original performance at the Globe.
No, I'd do Yellowstone. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I always wanted to, I'm not kidding, I always wanted to be Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I was like, he's JTT, I'm JTP. I didn't want to be him, but all the girls liked him, and he was on a great show that I love, Home Improvement. And then one time, I was in LA, and I had a rental on this street called Ensign Ave, which went like one block west of Moorpark or whatever. And it was one of those kind of thinner streets, and cars are parked on both sides. And I'm in my car and I'm driving, and there's this like SUV coming this way, but clearly not like staying on the side. It's going to be tight anyways, you know, if we just ease by each other. And so the car is driving towards me, and I'm kind of like, what is this person doing? Like, get it, like, you're going to crash into...
Pick a lane, pal!
Pick a lane, pal. And so finally, the person kind of realizes that they're in the middle of the street, there's not going to be space, and so slows down, and I kind of give like a WTF look to Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And I was like, what? Oh, that's cool, man. Anyways.
Wow.
That's why I want to be paused behind him kissing Kelly Kapowski.
All right, let's go all the way back row. Looks like maybe some blue hair. Yeah.
You are using your eagle vision.
I do. I got some eagle eyes.
Hi. So I wanted to ask. So it's been known that you guys are menaces on set.
Everywhere, not just on set.
Well, my question was: is that going to continue on to the sets you're going like onto now?
Yes.
You really have a partner in crime on Walker.
I don't. I know. Well, I do. No one. I think this is funny. I thought about this. So, because on Walker, I have the same sense of humor or same kind of dark sense of humor, I suppose. But I think when people start, they all know that I'm a friendly guy and I love them and they love me, I hope. But I think every now and again I'll see like Keegan or Jeff Pierre or Mitch start to like go along with the flow and then go like, oh shit, he's also the executive producer. Like, it's okay, like tease me, you know? Like it's, I think on Supernatural, we gave as good as we got, you know? So our crew would rip us, you know? And we laughed the hardest. I think in the COVID world, everybody's wearing masks, and I don't think people, all of them, I love my Walker crew with all my heart. They don't know yet that it's okay to, oh, some of them do, like Monk and Danny, they tease me relentlessly. One of our dolly grips and our boom operator. And I think like, one of them will tease me, and you'll see some looks from the crew like, he's the EP, dude.
So even just when I showed up, like before, like my first day of prep, I went out to the set and I came up and I said, I ripped on him right in front of the whole crew. I forget exactly what I said, but it was, some sort of, brother dig, and thinking that it was gonna, get a chuckle. And I looked around and it was, all masks, but everybody's eyes were just like. I was like, oh wow, okay. My bad.
I don't have as many people yet teasing me back, but I'm absolutely still just the same.
On The Boys, I was, like I said, I was obviously a guest in somebody else's house, so I had to kind of sit idly by and not not speak up with sarcasm or jokes as much as I probably normally would until I literally got in with specifically Carl, who I immediately found a partner in crime with, and then certainly after a couple of episodes, he and I were doing the non-speaking communication, which is when somebody says something that could be taken another way, he and I would just literally slowly do this. And then that would snowball into us messing with somebody who, but you have to be careful because there's a lot of different personalities on that set. Some people can joke and some people don't are maybe a little sensitive about stuff like that. So I was happy to have a confidant in Carl. We got on pretty good.
Yeah, but we're still the same.
Yeah.
Just different names.
Given the opportunity, we will certainly be heathens.
Oh yeah. And we're going to be clear. We're going to be heathens for the rest of the day. We love you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for everybody. Come on. Thank you, Jensen and Jared.
She wants to know the names of the games he plays. He wants the names of the players in the game.